Hi there, this is Philip with my Visual Basic Programming Challenge for Chapter 4. The program we were expected to design this week is entitled The Speed of Sound. It involved a radial control where users could select a material, either air, water, or still, for their sound to travel through. The program also required a place for users to input the distance that they wanted the sound to travel. After that, it calculates the amount of time in seconds that it would take for the sound to travel through the selected material. So, without much further ado, let's jump right in and I'll show you my work. Okay, so as you can see, we're going to take a look at the code first. Up front, I have my declared variables. I have the distance traveled as a decimal, and then I also have a result variable in order to hold the answer to the problem that the program is supposed to work out. I also have a solution as a string. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at how the program actually runs. So first off, it has a try and then a catch. If the user does not input a value into the distance traveled category, then it's going to throw an exception and ask the user to provide some input to where it can actually move through to the next step of the program. Otherwise, if the user inputs a distance less than 0, it's going to spit out a warning message and tell them that the distance traveled needs to be greater than 0. I decided to include 0 in that because essentially if you divide 0 by any number, the answer is always going to be 0. And given that that's the way that expression works, I decided to just go ahead and include 0. Regardless, if everything works out okay, it moves to kind of the final step of the program. If the user has selected the air radial, it's going to go ahead and figure out the result. It's going to put the solution into the correct format, and then it's going to go ahead and put that in the solution label. Same deal with the water radial, except we're dividing by another number, and then also with the still radial, once again dividing by another number. And then the last little bit, of course, it has an exit button. If you click the exit button, the program exits. So I'm going to go ahead and start the program up. Okay, so up front we have the instructions for this program. It essentially tells the user what to do and how this program can be used. So we're going to select the air radial, which is where it starts. We're going to go ahead and demonstrate that if you don't put in any value for distance, it does throw the exception. All right, so it tells us that we need to put in a distance traveled. Let's go ahead and put in 6,600 feet that we want a sound to travel, and we'll go ahead and calculate it. We find out that it will take 6.00 seconds to travel that distance. We'll go ahead and use 10,000 feet because I believe that's what the book suggested. And you can see that it does match the value in the book. We'll go ahead and switch to water. All right, and it's going to match the value in the book. And then last but not least, we're going to switch to still. And of course, we've got the correct answer there. Very quickly, I'll show you what happens if you try to put in a negative value. Distance traveled must be greater than 0. So I hope you've enjoyed my work, and I continue to look forward to learning more about Visual Basic and how it works. Thanks for watching.